Morning, everyone. I bring to you very warm regards and very great compliments from leader of industries, Mr. Baba Kalyani, for whom I am representing here. Okay. Normally, the tradition in Bharat Forge is that whenever any executive from Bharat Forge is required to represent any forum, whether it is a business forum or any forum, academic forum like this, I am expected to be in company uniform. Probably I might have entered in my blazer, but then the moment I start my lecture, I am supposed to be in my uniform because it is labeled as I am representing Bharat Forge Limited. Thank you very much. This uniform is a uniform right from a junior most operator working in my company right up to Baba Kalyani, all population 12,000. They use same type of uniform for us. Well, friends, Daniel, who had taken trouble of extending invitation to me, Preeta, very nice word of introduction you said over here. Mr. Varun Agarwal, okay, from Inspiring Mind. My colleague on a dais, Shahina Islam, she represents one of the important company, Gensar Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those who are trying their level best to ensure that India 2022, maybe 10 years down from now, will have minimum challenges as far as talent input is concerned, and then it is in the hands of all of us, those who are sitting in this auditorium, to ensure that the product which will be produced from Technical Institute will be to the expectation of corporates. Now, organizers have given me 20 minutes time over here, and I am expected to finish my talk exactly. This is 25 past 10, and then I will ensure that exactly on 20th minute I will sit on my chair. What is that? The topic which is given to me by organizers, that to present a case study from engineering sector, bridging the gap between increased demand and limited supply of the right employee. I wonder exactly what is right employee for whom, and then who is expected to define that. I'm in the profession for last about next 1st April. I'll be completing my exactly 40th year in HR profession. And I wonder, in last about 40 years time, the topic which was highly debated 35 years ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years back, in recession, what we all experienced in 2007-8, and now recession not to that extent, but then to certain extent what we are experiencing now. Ongoing topic, levels have changed, and then scenarios were different for us there. Right? Some of the guys, those 40 years back, they were students when I entered in the profession, might be in this audience as a director or placement officer, some of the elite institute for is that. So when I say presenting a case study for engineering sector for is that, out of my 40 years career, at least 17 years I spent in engineering sector, others with chemical, rubber manufacturing, and so on. You will find one important topical sentence what I have mentioned over here. In these days of talent war, the best way to keep your stars is to know them better than they know themselves, and then use the information to customize the careers of their dreams for us that. Now, who takes the responsibility for this? Is it the responsibility for student? Is it the responsibility of his parent? Is it the responsibility of his colleagues with whom he spent time in hostel for his that? Or the responsibility goes to society or industries for his that? I personally would vouch for it. It is a holistic responsibility. Each student entering into academic institute has his dream. Any academic institute, management committee, they have their dream that when they print their brochure and go to corporates like us, they would like to give a criteria that last 10 years, the placement was 100% time. And then the dreams are different. But then probably the goal is same, that colleges feels that their students should get placed 100%, whereas students feels that when I am in this institute, along with whatever intellectual capability I have, my institute need also to support me to ensure that I should get 100%. I'm here in Bharat Forge exactly last 1st October. I have completed my 10th anniversary in this company, and then we have seen the lot of turbulence as far as hiring processes is concerned for us there. Now, what is that current scenario? Education is a source and product of economic. You have heard just now from Preeta, important statistic for skill development, National Skill Development Committee, and yesterday itself we have one symposium of HR managers, about 60 guys from Western India, they were present there, and then we were debating on important topic of skill development. Is it a challenge or it is an ongoing process for us there? I can tell you that education is one of the important aspect, and the product coming from any academic institute will be considered continuously now and jab tak chand and suraj hai as a support for economic growth. And then the question is that the product which is coming out from institute, how do I ensure that the product is placed to the customer in a polish, in a glittering shine, which I am expecting when product is coming to me. Now I represent here a manufacturing sector, and manufacturing sector skill labor force prime determination is connected with the economic force for is there. Now our philosophy is that whenever young graduate is passing out from institute, anyone is aspiring that from next day I should get a air conditioned cabin. From next day, preferably he is a boy, preferably I should get a cute lady secretary immediately when I go to the shop floor for is there. And then rightly so say that why not he should dream for such thing. But then whether is he capable, because dreaming one thing, but then dream bringing into reality, and corporates like me are ensuring that dreams, he has a dream, but he has also deserving capability for his that. And who takes the responsibility to ensure that the product which is coming out from institute are considered as a factor and supporting asset as far as my economic growth is concerned for his that. Important factor when I am expected to place before you a case study from engineering sector. Our experience is that the boys and girls passing out from engineering colleges and management institutes, their first preference is for IT, ITES, finance and banking, and last preference unfortunately is core manufacturing. Why students are tend to accept manufacturing? Only because if there is a dearth in having appointment letters from outside, then only. Now today is the case that attrition, if you find in IT, ITES, Economic Times survey says that for all IT, ITES, attrition rate dropped down from 20-25% to maybe about 15% for us there. And so is the case with manufacturing and engineering sector. At one point of time, our attrition rate was maybe about 15% plus. Now it is below 10%. Now students are coming and they are echoing that why not even core manufacturing sector? Thinking process has changed. This is only because it has a direct connection between demand and supply in a market for us there. But I for one would like to place my very coherent and solid view that anyone passing out from mechanical engineering, metallurgical engineering, industrial electronic, he or she tend to think of developing his career from core manufacturing sector for his there. He cannot think for glorious career for him. So it is for placement officer, those who are present in this August gathering, to ensure, and please canvas and monitor this thinking process in the students, those who are passing out this stream, that ITES is yes one of the important avenue for employment, but then the core manufacturing like engineering sector is also one of the avenue where individual engineering boys and girls can make out their careers for is there. Unfortunately, my experience is that manufacturing sector is considered as a last option. During last about 5 years time, if I have issued 100 appointment letters, then about 40 to 50% are coming into reality. In turn, I receive regret from about 50% students that they do not wish to join the manufacturing sector. And more tragedy is that when I get in touch with placement officers to those colleges, they say that when students are passing out from our college, we lose a track from them, and then our responsibility ends as and when student is passing out, and then we issue him leaving certificate from this college. Unfortunate scenario, but then what corrective measure as an industry, what I am expecting, that when I go to any campus for recruiting, I would also expect placement officer to ensure right from when they say and give report to their top management that we have about 100% placement, are they also not responsible to ensure that whatever appointment letters I have issued, those guys are required to join. Otherwise, then why as a manufacturing sector I should come to the institute as a for placement requirement? Better than I go for open market, give the advertisement for walk-in interview, and whoever comes, then I would select them. But then these days industries have taken as one of the important methodology as a passion. Why to give recruitment avenue for engineering graduates only from a city area like Mumbai and Pune? To give you an example for is that right from 2006 till now, barring from the colleges of metallurgy engineering in Pune, we have been always giving preferences to the engineering graduates from colleges coming from rural part of the area. Now what is that has compelled me to go to rural area? The thing is that probably the chances of those students joining my company is much better than the students, those who are coming from city area, and the cohesiveness and collaborative efforts, what my experience is from placement officers from rural area is at much comfort level than the placement officers coming from city area. May not feel good to hear this, but then the fact is I am stating you from the basis of fact, because I am undergoing this employability trauma for last about 10 years time. Unfortunately, one important thing you will find that students, those who are joining industry, they don't tend to work in shift duties. Manufacturing sector and engineering sector, when you say right from day one, anyone who is occupying the highest chair in a company as a chairman, at one point of time he or she has definitely worked in shift rotation for his there. Because I always tell the student that you may occupy one important seat at one point of time, and then you being a manager and someone else will come and place before some technical problem to you. How is it that you are going to solve that problem unless and until you make your hands black and ensure what is that preventive maintenance, what is that predictive maintenance, and what is that ongoing maintenance for is that? Unfortunately, the scenario is that students passing out from the colleges, they do not wish to work on production area, but then their expectation is that first preference is only for design and development, and then probably business development area. Now what are those factors which are affecting demand and supply for the talent? One is of course market condition. Well, during last about 10 years time, industries have grown like a mushroom growth, okay? At the same time, same cases for college. I do remember the case of 25 years ago when there were few handful colleges of them. Except of one faculty in the state of Maharashtra, you will find that there is a mushroom growth of colleges for is there. So is the case with management colleges. You just cross a lane and you will find one management college for is there. But what is that condition as a deliverable of those students, which is a product from your institute, which is coming to me? I will touch upon those points for is there. Except one faculty, that's a metallurgy, and then only College of Engineering Pune, VNIT Nagpur, and IIT Mumbai. Only these 3 colleges are having faculty of metallurgy engineering, which is a backbone for engineering sector for is there. Now the demand for metallurgy is maybe about 1,000 fresh engineers. Unfortunately, the product which is coming out from the tap is hardly around 200. Demand is much more, supply is absolutely at 80% less. Now what is the scenario as far as mechanical engineering is concerned? My demand is 100, whereas supply is 1,000. Same cases for electronic engineer, and unfortunate thing is that as far as electronic engineering concerned, barring few companies, I am not making this statement as far as Bharat Forge is concerned, but then barring few companies, industries are preferring male gender as far as electronic and electrical engineer because of certain limitations what I can offer as far as female genders are concerned to work in manufacturing sector, because they are required to work in shifts. Electronic engineer, how many I may have? Maybe 2 to 3, but then if I want to employ 2 to 3 lady engineers in a manufacturing sector, they will be pitted against about 1,000 guys in a company for is there. Economically, that may not be viable for me. So increased competition in the form of goods and services, that is one. Dynamic economic condition, well, I mean, when I want to run the industry, I do not need so many engineers for is there. When, take a case of army, when somebody is fighting out on a battle on war field near our boundary of control, you don't need all field marshals and generals for is there. You need a soldier. So rightly pointed out by Preeta, the steps taken by few of the industries for developing the soldiers, and that is by mushrooming growth of converting few institutes of ITI into adopted institutes, and then industries are also collaborating with so many engineering colleges for is there. Now there is a challenge for technical development, globalization as compared for is there. At one point of time, I can give you example for is there that our technology was hammer technology. Now we have a technology which has a screw press technology for is there. At one point of time, if I had somebody who is just 10th standard, he could have managed our press. That was a hammer press. But now the scenario is changed, and the scenario is that we need a technical mind who can operate such type of technology. The thing is whether engineers who are coming out from colleges are capable of organizing such type of technology. I am telling you now the example which is not a hypothetical one, but which is a practical one. I go to a number of colleges for taking campus interview for mechanical engineering students, and then my first question obviously I do ask them, how many of you have seen forging company? So out of 100 people or 20 people, they raise their hand and they say, yeah, we have visited forging company. Then I ask them question, how many of you 20 have visited forging company like Bharat Forge? So all 20, they raise their hand, we have visited Bharat Forge. I wonder, I am there for last 20 years, 10 years time, and I have not seen you, any one of you. So I asked some of them, when you have visited Bharat Forge? He said, no, I have not visited. My uncle stays at Solapur, so when I was traveling from Pune to Solapur in train, from train I have seen Bharat. Unfortunately, this is the state of affair. And then, we need to really evaluate and take a stock that whose responsibility is this to ensure that students are exposed to the real technology which is taking place at factory and maybe in academic way in institute. Now I would like to reason my thinking on a demand supply curve. You will find here on the screen. As far as education is concerned, my thinking is from engineering sector that there is a lack of industrial exposure to the students. Students that do come and visit industries for their project report. Last week only I had half a dozen students from one of the management institute. I'm not joking, but it's a fact. They wanted for field work for 15 days and they said, we will work here only for 3 days. Please give us certificate for 15 days time. This is a mandatory requirement as far as my institute is concerned. We will place it there. So the immediate my reaction was that Bharat Forge probably is not a right place for you to come for field training. This is one of the example, and then right and left we experience such type of examples. Lack of one, maybe from your side, Last week, we have one learning center over there, and then just for something else, I had taken a stock salary survey of this. If institute want high caliber faculty members to teach the students, then what is that salaries institutes? Unfortunately, in this gathering, promoters of technical institutes, if they are present, well, fine, but then probably this sentence is meant for them. Lack of proportionate pay scales to faculty members, what is there? I have a survey. It's not a right platform to put that survey here. But then, is it that institutes are paying competitive salary structure to their faculty members, what is that? Many faculties, they are working on contractual basis. Somebody who has passed out 3 years back, and then he is expected to teach the students engineering drawing, okay, and then the techniques on preventive maintenance. When I use high cost tool, one tool is costing lakhs of rupees, for is that, and those technologies are taught to the students by faculty, which is about having 2 to 3 years experience in teaching, not in industry. Lack of industrial experience to teacher. I tell you, whenever we go for taking any interviews, and we have talent pipeline program connected with few institutes, we have one compelling condition for this, that when I issue 50 appointment letter, the first program will be train the teacher, right from HOD to lecturers to faculty member. They will come to Bharat Forge, they will spend about 20 days time round the clock along with chief operator, see the operatives, what is happening in the plant, go back to the class and exactly teach what is happening back at shop floor in engineering sector. Whether all companies are doing it, question mark. I have not done survey for is there. Probably it is for you to decide and compellingly press this demand to the industries for is there. Next is lack of interest on the part of institute for proper handholding of students during their project report. Well, I was coming here, I took a pain of going through for last about 5 years survey of the students, those who had visited my company for project report in summer and winter. I was shocked to know that not a single faculty member or placement officer cared to contact our training and placement officer of our company to inquire as to how our student is faring well in your project report, for is there. If that is the sincerity which is prevailing in the mind of institute, for is there, then God bless all of us. Okay, what is there on the part of industry? Yeah, many of the industries, they have lack of support as far as academic field is concerned. I want to believe that industry need to have extreme high level of collaborative arrangement, which we have. Probably Bharat Forge is the only one organization where we have collaborative arrangement at least with 12 colleges. We have university campus of IIT Mumbai. We have university campus of BIT Pilani on Bharat Forge. We have university campus of Warwick University on our campus premises, for is that. Okay, we celebrate Teachers Day, and you would wonder that about 375 teachers along with their family members are felicitated on our factory premises on 5th of September on National Teachers Day. Why it happens, for is that it happens only because industry, engineering sector, passion is growing day by day, that a collaboration with academic institute is one of the important factor, and if we compromise on this, then probably there will be a dangerous scenario down the line after 10 years time. A lack of manpower planning and job sculpting, responsibility need to go even 50% to industry also. When young mind is joining in any industry, there is a need for proper handholding. I always canvass to fresh students whenever I go for teaching that the first question what you should ask when you are pitted for campus interview anywhere, how my hand-holding and mentorship will be done in your company, instead of asking that what is that CTC package I am going to get. That should be one of the questions, because no industry is going to hire you free of cost. But then how is it that industry will be trying to handhold your career and integrate the knowledge what you have gained in your campus, and how it is transferred in excellent way to corporate, for is there. So these collaboration from campus to corporate need to be understood extremely high level. And then there has to be lack of proper hand-holding on the part of seniors also. Now, you see, what are the measures of bridging the gap? There is a high expansion on higher education. Yesterday, I got across one announcement from Prime Minister's office that those who are MTech, they need to be promoted for doing their research. And I tell you, engineering sector is looking very sincerely, very seriously that students, they should develop their research mind for is that. Because what we are facing in a globe, that is the highest level of competition. Our company has its branches at Germany, at America, and then we have footprints all over the globe. Instead of my appreciating that this is made in USA, I personally feel that we should give opportunity to somebody placed in USA and Europe to say that I have a product, this is made in India. And that is the exact reason why we would like to give proper importance for higher education. And research attitude is one of the important things. I tell you, in our company, we have an MTech program tuned with IIT Mumbai, and out of that 40 students they have passed. 6 students we have promoted them to do their research survey with IIT Mumbai on full pay basis for is that. University of Pune, of which I am a Senate member, has recently announced a program of MTech PhD integrated program, and we have promoted a couple of students, those who are outside or not with Bharat Forge, to select the research project at forging industry like Bharat Forge and do the research survey and do the PhD, and then you will be given employment. Now, faculty selection, this is the one of the important measure what you need to take. Faculty selection should be on the basis of their ability to transmit new learning, quality and industrial exposure for is there. Because at the end of the day, who are going to be your customers? Okay, 90% of your product is going to be purchased by me, and then unless and until I have full satisfaction, why I should purchase your product? Instead of that, I would always crave and dare to grow my product within, and that is the exact reason I tell you. My ratio for recruitment during last 4 years time, I used to recruit 115 mechanical engineering graduate from a market. That has dropped down from 150 to little low. The reason is I have entered into MOU with BITS Pilani, and I have started my own mechanical engineering program right on our factory premises. The reason is I am looking for application-based knowledge. I am looking for research-based knowledge instead of I am looking for knowledge which has directly connectivity only with the books for is there. And then the important is colleges, they need to always attract top practitioners even from industry also. Because the reason is when I say that I will be your customer down the line, then what I want, that need to get translated and transformed back to your academic institute. The reason is very few institutes in Maharashtra I have seen that purposely they are entering into academic agreement with industry and taking people from industry for is there. Improving government academia institute, there has to be a goal and strategy. We find this very nicely articulated in brochure, placement brochure. Question mark is whether it is happening properly for is there. There has to be a faculty exchange program. Faculty during their summer and winter vacation need to be made compulsorily that they should spend at least 60% of their time back to the industry for is there. And that knowledge they can transform to their students for is there. And that is the exact reason. When I recruit faculty, when I recruit students, I make compulsion on the part of that college that unless you are sending your faculty, I will be cancelling your appointment letter. And I tell you that during last 6 years time, whatever students I have recruited, they are ready to serve to my departmental head. The reason is the faculty members, they came right from their institute, worked in ship rotation in my company, and then whatever was need for a forging company, that was delivered from those colleges for us there. I personally feel that even from the part of government also, government need to think of making some amendment in Apprenticeship Act. The reason is Apprenticeship Act makes compulsion on the part of employer to employ an engineering graduate's diploma holder. Faculty members from engineering colleges, they try and get the place for experience gaining with industry and they get a regret. There has to be a compulsion by way of legal enactment in Apprenticeship Act, and government should make compulsion through act to each industry that if you are employing 5 apprentices, then 1 faculty member from same branch should be given compulsorily exposure either in winter or summer vacation on some payment basis for is there. And why not? I want to graduate for that. And thank you very much for this. These are my views as far as engineering functions are concerned. This is exactly 20 minutes time. I promised you, I take your leave. If anyone wishes to contact me, my contact details are just on a screen for us there. Thank you very much for it.